up, you guys, and welcome back to another video with your girl Sandra. I hope you guys are all doing great, enjoying your month of December, the last month of 2020. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, if you guys are new, my name is Sandra. I am an interior designer, been in the field for about 7 years. In this week's video, I'm going to be sharing what it's a little heavy is in my interior design bag. These are basically essential tools every interior designer should have, and these are items too that I basically carry with me everywhere I go on client visits or consultations. So let's get started. For the first item, I basically carry this with me everywhere I go, which is my handy dandy laptop. In case you guys haven't already watched this, I did make a review talking about my laptop, so if you haven't, I would recommend watching that in case you are interested to know what laptop interior designers use. To go along with that is my silent mouse clicker. I got this on Amazon and I'll have the link down below, but just listen. Did you guys hear that? It's a very subtle low click. It's not a like obnoxious click, so I just really love these silent clicker mouses and it just looks so sleek. The one weird thing I will say is it does not have an on and off button, so I just literally stopped using it and I think it just goes on power saving mode. I don't know. Next up is this graph paper notepad that I carry with me basically every time I go on a consultation or when I know I'm going to be measuring a space. It's so much better just to like write a dimensions and floor plan on a bigger notepad rather than a smaller notepad. And I also love like the little graph boxes. It's just so much easier to keep lines straight. It just keeps things very neat and clean for me. Moving on to a smaller scale notebook, I have my little black note, and this is where I write all my client notes, ideas, to-do lists. I always carry these markers with me, and the reason is when I measure, I kind of like to have different things on different colors. Like I'll have the dimensions in a certain color and then locating any outlets on another color, and they're really great. It keeps kind of like the floor plan and your dimensions easy to read rather than having everything in one color and just being like all mixed up. Next up is having a laser measure tool, and I'll show you guys in a bit how I use it, or in case you're curious, but this saves me so much time as a designer when I'm measuring big spaces or tall ceiling heights. Okay, so I'm gonna measure this wall from the door frame to the corner. I get that dimension in, so I'm gonna turn it on. You guys can see the screen. And I'm going to bump it up against the door frame, so the edge of the laser to the edge of the door frame, and then I'm going to point and click. You guys can see that little red dot, so I'm just going to press the red button, and then it just tells me the length of that wall. Easy and simple. Just because I have a laser measure doesn't mean I shouldn't carry a tape measure. So I always carry both just in case the laser batteries run out or it's acting weird, which it has happened. So I always carry a tape measure. Pretty basic tool, essential to have as an interior designer. And I find these more accurate to measure windows with. So you gotta have tape measure. These next few items that I'm going to show you guys, I don't carry them everywhere I go, but these are essential tools to have at home or at your office. And we are going to start with having a paint deck. It could be Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, but I go to the store and I ask to have a paint deck. They will ask you if you're an interior designer, and they will probably ask for your business card or whatever, but as long as you say you're an interior designer, you should be able to get one, or I think you may need to pay for it. I'm not too sure which ones, but I have Sherwin-Williams and I also have Fair and Ball. So these are really great to have, especially when you are comparing colors, because it's just so much better to see it live in person than on the computer screen. These next two items go hand in hand, and it's tracing paper and drafting dots. You know, as a designer, you're always sketching, so having tracing paper is just pretty essential. And drafting dots, you could have whatever tape you want, but this just keeps the paper down. And I use tracing paper when I'm space planning floor plans, or just kind of drawing out little details. So that's why I have these tools. So there's actually 2 more items I forgot to mention to you guys, and the first one is a scale ruler. And this is pretty important to have as a designer because sometimes we get these architectural floor plans and drawings that don't have dimensions, and the floor plan or dimensions should have what the drawing is scaled at. So this ruler just has all these different variations of scale sizes that you can measure, and it also has just regular inches. I also use my ruler to draw straight lines when I'm sketching, and you can kind of tell mine is a little beat up, so that is how much I use it. So yeah, pretty important to have. And then these books are also pretty important to have, and it's great to have as a beginner interior designer or even just to reference them. I've been in the field for 6 years or 7 years, and I still have these books and I reference them. This book tells you like kind of construction details and how to build, and window frames, wall thicknesses, stairs, all that stuff. This book tells you about like human dimension space, so it tells you what height things should be at, especially when you're designing for commercial. You need to know what is like the legal requirements to have for a person that's handicapped. So it's really great to reference this, and yeah. And in case you guys were wondering, I got this backpack from Amazon. My laptop fits very nicely in there and it keeps it pretty protective and cushioned, but I've had this for over a year and it's been in really great condition, and just I carry this everywhere I go when I go on client visits. Really happy with this backpack. Well, those are all the essential tools that I carry with me as an interior designer. Let me know what is your essential tool if you're an interior designer, or maybe if you're not an interior designer, I would still love to hear what the necessity that you need to carry for your career profession. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like my channel, my videos, my content, me, I would love for you to join this awesome fam I got going on. Thank you guys again, and I will catch you on next week's video. Bye.
You know how we do. It's not for me to say.